Today's cocktail is the Chin Up from everybody's favorite Milk and Honey bartender. And that's not true. There's every Milk and Honey bartender is like everybody's favorite because Milk and Honey was such a legendary bar. This one is from Sam Ross though. He's one of the more visible Milk and Honey bartenders. And it is a stirred drink with Cynar because everybody should have a bottle of Cynar. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is take some cucumbers here. This is a Regal stir. And although the directions don't say it, I'm gonna give it just a little light, muddly press. You know, I want to get some of that good cucumberness in there, but just a light one. Then we're just going to do 1/2 ounce of dry vermouth here. 1/2 ounce of Cynar. And 2 ounces of gin. And I'm using that Forge gin because it's going to go real well with the cucumber, dude. That's why.
It's like a Pim's martini kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, God. Ooh. Dude. Gotta get that out of the way, but that was a freaking close one, man. Not that mic is that expensive or anything, but I'm glad that I didn't break it. Yeah, no, it is kind of like a Pim's martini. It's funny because there is just a complete, it's so funny how sometimes people are so confident and wrong on Instagram. I've gotten a couple of different kind of shit comments on various martini videos. One of them was on that because I said I hated the dirty martini, which offended a lot of people. And the reason why I said it is because A, I do hate the dirty martini, and B, offending people is, you know, fine when you've got something to back up what your opinion is. It's solidly backed up. If you know, you're not, sometimes you're gonna crack a few eggs, you know what I'm saying? But this one guy said, what was the cocktail that we posted? I said there was a martini, oh, it was a Manhattan Riff, the Bobby's Manhattan. I said it was a Manhattan Riff. And some guy, you know, so he's like this old dude in his 70s, is like, how is this a Manhattan Riff? I mean, literally has 2 ounces of rum, sweet vermouth, a little bit of Benedictine, because this person obviously has the traditional idea of like whiskey and sweet vermouth being a Manhattan, but if you look at the build, it is a Manhattan Riff, and he's just so confidently wrong. He's like, you should really learn more about cocktails, is what he told me. And you know, I am constantly learning more about cocktails. Did
he say what it was then?
No, he didn't offer any, no, it's not a Manhattan because it doesn't have whiskey. No matter that it's a Manhattan build, but he was like, this is not a Manhattan Riff. How is this a Manhattan Riff? You should know more about cocktails. And I was just thinking like, this is solidly in the martini family. You put Cynar in it, somebody out there is gonna be like, how is that a martini Riff? That's nothing like a martini because their version of a martini is gin and dry vermouth and that's it. Maybe some orange bitters. And that's it. And that is folly.
So Manhattans are also like an old fashioned, they're like a template, right?
If you want to know what the templates are, there are a few books that you can buy. The simplest of which is Home Bartending Mastery that I literally just wrote and published. Home Bartending Mastery, we talk about and I think, you know, honestly, truth be told, the Death and Company guys in Cocktail Codex were the first to make a big deal about this, but this is not a concept that they created. This is a very well-known concept in the bar industry that cocktails are templates, and there are basically 6 templates that comprise all of cocktaildom. The old-fashioned, okay, the sour, the Manhattan. People say martini, and even Death and Company said the martini, but the Manhattan, that was the first template. People say, oh, the Martinez was the beginning of the martini. Maybe so, but the Manhattan was first, and the Manhattan created the template. So the Manhattan is it is a root cocktail, is what we call it, a root cocktail. That is a cocktail that is both a cocktail and a category of drink. And if you basically follow the right build specs, and you also follow generally the same idea with some of the same ingredients, you are going to be in that realm. So this is really technically, it is a martini in idea, because I kind of feel like, and I say this in the book too, that the martini has sort of broken away from the Manhattan because the martini became so much more of a popular and then iconic cocktail than the Manhattan, right? So the Manhattan started the template, but really the martini kind of took it over. And martinis became their own thing over time.
They actually became kind of 2 things.
In what way?
Like you have the martini that's like this one that has the vermouths, and that's like in the martini thing, but then you also have the martinis like
oh, that's true, that's like the martini template. Yeah, so like
there's 2 templates for martini,
and then not only that, but also the teenies of the 2000s get a lot of flack from a lot of, like, you know, craft bartenders or whatever. Some of them are not done very well, but over time a lot of people have then taken those like you know, some crappy teeny recipes and made really good drinks out of them. And so you have things like the espresso martini, the lychee martini, and the apple martini. So yeah, then that's true. It's become two things. That being said, those drinks are technically more sours, not the espresso martini, but you know, like a lychee martini is more a sour than it is a martini. It's just a martini in name because someone misnamed it, but literally a sour. And so is the appletini as well. So I just think people like the idea of drinking a martini because there is some sort of like,
I mean, it feels sophisticated.
yeah, there's like sophistication behind it. And so you want to feel sophisticated when you're, you know, getting yourself completely fucking knackered at a nightclub, I guess. All right. That was a good aside. I hope you learned something from it. Some good stuff going on over there. Now this is what we're gonna do, guys, okay? We're gonna take a lemon, we're gonna pull a peel, we're gonna spritz it over the top like so, and we're gonna discard it, and then we're gonna garnish with some cucumber slices that I reserved so that you get the cucumber lemon experience. I don't need to tell you that cucumber and lemon are really good together. Kindred spirits, as they say. So we're gonna do this where we kind of put this through the fatty part here, and then at an angle, we wanna put it into like a V shape so that it pinches the side of the glass and so that it stays. That both gives you depth of flavor and something refreshing at the same time. The Cynar plays really well with the cucumber. I like the dry vermouth bringing in some botanicals, and then of course the botanicals of the gin. And then you get some residual bitterness from the Amaro. It's very, very nice. Nice and cucumbery. You get that like refreshing kind of cucumber salad, especially with that lemon pop right on the top. And there it is, guys, the chin up. Now Marius is going to ask me to do that again because he was on his phone.
No, I got it.
You got it?
But did you, how quickly did you move away?
I don't know. I don't think I moved away very quickly, but we'll do it again.